I've saved my progress as manualcopyedit.ai found inside the O8 type folder. Now, the next step is to go ahead and embellish each and every one of the artboards so that we have something more closely resembling a graphical document. And if you switch to finalformattedlimerick.ai, you'll see that each and every one of the final versions of the pages is filled with this sort of yellow parchment pattern. We also have these green scribbly borders, and between the pages, we have this area of flat lavender. And this is all a sequence of fill and stroke attributes that are applied to a total of 3 rectangles. So if you check out the Pages layer here inside the Layers panel, go ahead and twirl it open. You'll notice that I have 3 objects in all, page 1, page 2, and page 3, and all they are is 3 rectangles with a bunch of fill and stroke attributes assigned to them. I've gone ahead and saved out, not quite all, but most of the fill and stroke attributes as what is known as a graphic style. And we'll take a closer look at graphic styles in a future chapter of this series. But for now, what I'd like you to do is go up to the window menu and choose the graphic styles command, or you can press the keyboard shortcut Shift F5. And that will bring up this graphic styles panel right there. You can also get to the panel, by the way, by clicking on this graphic styles icon. Right there is a style called Scribble Border. Now, I want to bring that style into my document at hand. If I switch back over to manualcopyedit.ai, the graphic styles panel no longer has that Scribble Border style. So somehow we need to bring it over. Now, Adobe's preferred method of doing this, I think, is quite cumbersome. You go up to the Graphic Styles panel flyout menu, click on that icon, and then choose this command, Open Graphic Style Library. Now, notice in my case, Final Formatted Limerick is already available to me because I've opened that document previously from this panel. What you would have to do, however, is choose the Other Library command, and then you would have to navigate your way to the Exercise Files folder on the desktop, and then you would have to enter the O8 type folder, and again open the document called finalformattedlimerick.ai. I'll go ahead and cancel out of there. What will happen when you open that document is you'll bring up a new panel like so, and then you would drag this scribble border from the Final Formatted Limerick panel into the Graphic Styles panel, drop it into place, and then it becomes available to the document called manualcopyedit.ai, or whatever is the name of the document that you've been creating as you work along with me throughout this chapter. So that's one way to go. Not my preferred method, just because it's an awful lot of work. Now, the other method is less elegant, but it gets the job done more quickly. So I'll go ahead and press Control-Z. Command-Z on the Mac to undo the addition of that style. I'm also going to close the Final Formatted Limerick panel, and I'll switch back over to finalformattedlimerick.ai, which I have open here inside of Illustrator, and I'm just going to draw any old object. I'll grab the rectangle tool, for example, and I'll draw anywhere inside of my document, doesn't matter where. And I've created a white rectangle with a black border. Who cares? Now I'm going to go over here to the Graphic Styles panel, and I'll click on this guy, Scribble Border, and that assigns that style to the rectangle. Next, I'll go up to the Edit menu, and I'll choose the Cut command, or I could press Control-X, Command-X on the Mac. Then I'll switch back to the manualcopyedit.ai file, and I did that by pressing Control-Tab here on a PC, Command-tilde on the Mac. And then I'll go up to the Edit menu and choose the Paste command, or press Control-V, Command-V on the Mac. And not only do I paste the rectangle into the document, which really I don't want, I also go ahead and paste a copy of the Scribble Border style. Excellent. Now I'll just press the Backspace key that gets rid of the rectangle. The style is still there, as you can see. And now I'll draw out the rectangle that I really want with the Rectangle tool. And, by the way, with the first artboard active, I'm going to draw from the upper left corner of this first artboard like so, down to the lower right corner, and it might automatically have the Scribble Border style applied. In my case, it doesn't. It does have a white fill and a thick green stroke, but that's not quite everything I want. So I'll go ahead and click on Scribble Border in order to apply that style. And I now have a rectangle that covers up the entire first artboard and has many of the fill and stroke styles that I ultimately want to apply to it. In the next exercise, I'm going to duplicate this rectangle onto the other 2 artboards. We're going to create a new layer to house these rectangles, and then we'll set about modifying the fill and stroke attributes to better suit our needs.